Okay, guys, we'll finish up here with a look at Roku. Now, I'm glad we're doing this. So this is kind of a late push in votes here. Roku eked out the win over Lulu. But so we hadn't looked at Roku before. I've never once in my life looked at this chart. And so the reason I'm glad we're doing this is because I kind of make the point here that it just doesn't matter. The asset doesn't matter. It's all exactly the same every time, guys. If you get nothing else from listening to my videos, the redundancy of it, the same thing over and over again, should be almost annoying, right? I can just hear the YouTube comments coming now, right? It should be annoying. Not this fucking guy again showing me the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah, it's kind of making the point right there, in that if you will maintain the discipline to do it the same way every single time, you will have infinitely higher probabilities of success than if you're jumping around trying a little this, a little that. I'm trying, that one didn't work. Let's try something different here. It's the same thing, guys. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I've never looked at this chart before, but just pop it open. For a lot of years of doing this, first thing my eyes just immediately drawn to were the 3s and the 5s. Okay, what do I got here? Well, okay, let's just do a quick, we're not spend all day here. All right, some sort of 1-2 likely going on here. So can I make that work? Well, okay, some sort of ugly diagonal gives me a 1, A, B, C into a 2. It's deep. This thing's just started trading, right? Here's October of 17. So here's the first 2 years. Well, not quite. Almost 2 years here of Roku's history, right? And then we get here's all of 9. Well, no, not all. Here's 19. We're 3/4 of it. Here, most of the year here, we're topping up here in September. All right, let's just pick it apart. Let's see what here. So if this is 1-2, well, okay, I'm looking for an impulse. Do I get an impulse? Elliottians might differ on exactly how they're working that subdivision, but I'm just using the same old tools, right? Again, same thing every time, all right? So are we long enough here? I mean, one of these retracements is going to be your 4. Here's where, maybe this is the 4 to the 5 of the 3, so you're going to have to dig the 1-2. Yeah, I know it's shallow, but look at the beautiful little ABC into the 2. Right, so you got to dig, I'm out here on a daily, so you got to dig a 1-2 here, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, it's certainly far enough, and 4 to the 5. Okay, well, I got a big kick in the 5th of the 3rd. Is it long enough? All right, well, let's just, from the length of the 1 projected from the 2 low, how do I look here? Well, I fall short of the 261. So right off the bat, immediately that makes me think that's not our high. All right, there's going to be another high, right? Because we're in between here. That would be my first instinct, but just kind of looking here at the wave relationship here. Well, just also let's check the 2 through the 3. Right, looking for the 4. Where am I looking for the 4? Between the 23 and the 38. Well, here's third target. So we certainly got a big kick in the 5th. And then kind of looking here, how would that look? Just these are wave tendencies here. I want to check these. Just how solid are we here on the Elliott structure, right? So if that's that, okay. Well, there's the 1618 length of the 1 projected from the 4. That's about as far as you'll see them go in an extension. Well, I mean, certainly there have been others that have gone further, but that's a nice average. So we get the 1618, 175 window here for this pivot, but I do think that that's all part of the subdivision given what follows. All right, so what follows? Well, okay, it's skinny, right? Certainly it's skinny ABC. Well, if that's the 3 and this is the 2, let's just take a look, right? So swing high, swing low, swing high, we come right to the 50. Note the Vegas wave here, guys. Well, so look at all the things that we have here. Okay, we are literally in the lips of the Vegas wave, right at the 50. Look what else is here, right? Just nice high volume node, right? Drag it over. Okay, I can see why that's there. What, if you're size and you're looking to buy, what perfect spot for it. So you can see, right, likely, right, that's algorithmically driven, dominant to dominant, right to the 50, Vegas wave, high volume node, off it goes. But is there any other confluence? Well, I got other pivots here to check from, right? So I'm going to go from my low, my high, what do I get? Do you see the confluence here? Right. So not only is there a 50, not only am I in between the lips of the Vegas wave, I'm in the middle of the golden zone. That, guys, is an absolute every bloody time you take that trade. There's almost nothing else I could put there, right? Maybe a little geometry here, but this is so skinny. I mean, that you wait for that, right? That is an absolute must take. You got to take that. And note here, well, look what happens here. It sits there for a couple of days. You had 2 days, 3 days to wait, and it starts to go. You talk about good risk reward, right? I mean, you could have been in that with very tight risk. Oh, and look here. Do you see we get a little swing, a retrace? What do you think is there? Well, let's get this little box off here. Actually, I don't like that color here. Let's go there. Okay, let's get that little box off of there. Okay, so just... Do you see it? All right, so we go from golden zone. We swing higher, come down, golden zone again. Right, so you're thinking, oh man, I didn't like that one. It was just too abrupt, too steep. I'm going to take the next one. Do you see what just happened there? Same thing over and over and over again. Chart doesn't matter. Time frame doesn't matter. Asset doesn't matter. It's all the same all the time. Until they rewrite this algorithm, right? This is the DNA of the market. I keep trying to... I think that's what we're going to call this training on this. This little nugget here, this right there, that is the DNA of every market. That's the building block right there. Right? Let's put it together. Right? If you don't pay attention to this, you got an uphill climb in the markets. Right? There it is. That little nugget right there is all you need to know. Now, you want to make it a little sexier? Okay, great. Let's put that on top of it. All right, let's get them just lined up right there. That's everything you will ever need to know. If you want to keep trading simple, right there, that right there is responsible for more trading career success than any other technical component, tool, asset, indicator. I don't care what you want to call it. Just that right there is all you need to be wildly successful in the market. That's it. Don't need Elliott Wave. Don't need indicators. You don't need anything other than that right there. That's the entire, that if there's any secret to the market, right, of technical trading, that's it right there. You don't need anything else. Don't have to take my word for it, right? Just do it yourself. Just look, I've never seen this before. We didn't cherry pick this. I've never looked at this. I've never even thought of looking at Roku. I don't use Roku. I use Apple TV. What do I care about Roku? Right, so my members say, okay, let's look at Roku. Okay, great. Pull it up. How many golden zones do we have here? How many algos to target? Is there a wave count? Is it tradable? Is it technical? Where are we likely to go now? Well, so what's this? Well, does that fit with an Elliott count? Well, you got a couple of, now here it gets a little trickier, right? So is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of a 1? Well, of course, it could be, right? So can't be positive, but we're retracing here. So, it's certainly one possibility here, right? Because it certainly looks like a 3, right? One possibility here, we just got a deep A, and this is going to come over. Right? We can't eliminate that possibility here. It's probably far enough. We could have a flat. Right? Oh shit! So wrong one. Let's get. We far enough? Let's get the 887 on there. Yeah, we're through the 8. You're very close here. You could certainly have a flat. So we'd have 3, 3. We could have a 5. So this could be 1, 2. No way to know here, right? I mean, it's not a great looking. Let's get this all off of here. It's not a great looking impulsive structure here, even a motive way, right? We don't. Is that the 1, 2? All right. So, is that, yeah? What do you got there? Right. It's kind of now. See, if it's really hard, some with the gaps that you always have with equities, a lot of times I'll go to the line and see if that's helping me a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure looks like an A. That little close. There's my 3. Do I really have 5 here? Iffy. All right, so it's a little bit, You know, I don't know that I want to bet heavy on this here. I mean, obviously there have been better points in the trading evolution here where you had more technical confluence. So what do I have here? Well, it's very easily could be an ABC, right? And then you kind of come back to it and go, well, let me think about the symmetry of this. How's the symmetry? Well, length of the 2, right? Do we have, you know, rule of alternation here? We have a simple 2. We're gonna have more complexity in the 4. You know, I mean, you can certainly, you know, get your head around that idea. Well, you know, could we go that low? Well, obviously this wave 1 pivot is going to be essential if this is trading, and I think there's a solid case here for this as an impulse, rather than, you know, could it be an ABC? Could we rework it? Probably. 1, 2, but no reason not to think it's a 3. Now, how much of this correction are we going to do? Well, there's a couple of things you might look for. Okay, so if that's going to play as an A and that's going to play as a B, well, here's this would be an ideal zone to be looking for that if we're going to have more complexity, if this is going to be a big ABC. Oh, how long did this take? Oh, that's the 28th of September to the 20th. That's about 3 months here. And when do we top here? Interesting, September again, September. This could easily come down here because you don't have just a beautiful looking impulse here, or even a motive. But then kind of the same thing here. So looking here, you would want to check this. It looks like we're already to and through, so we're through golden zone. So we've just gone 786 here. So you've lost any buy side here. But remember, guys, remember this, right? I try and remind you every time I can. The alternating pivots. If that is a technical pivot, that's one you want to pay attention to. So the first one breaks from this pivot, so you immediately have to go to the next one. All right. So right now we're kind of in between. So if this is going to trade as a flat, then you're looking for this to come down as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get that. Oh, submicro. Here, bear with me. Here, let's go to white so you can see it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Potentially now puts you right in the pocket down here that would maintain the 1 high. We'd be approaching golden zone. We've seen pivot after pivot has been technical, right? The algos are obviously in here. We've seen 50s in golden zones over and over and over again. You know, you probably have some sort of there you go, right? So now we've got this corrective structure here. So right now I got a swing down here. Now I've got a lower high. Am I coming down here to get a lower low here and complete this? Well, it's kind of early, right? So is there a trade there? Well, I don't know that I'd be rushing into the buy side here. The count doesn't really, it's you know, it's iffy, right? Could be this, could be that, right? When it's that unclear, for me, I wait. So if this is gonna pop higher here, if we're gonna get, oh, come here, God damn it, trading view. If we're gonna come up here and do that, right? Okay, if we're gonna get out of here. All right, so if we're gonna get something like that, right? It would be, you could understand. Well, shit, well, there's a 50, there's a target. You know, why wouldn't that, right? You trade them till they fail. Well, you know, the count doesn't quite line up, right? So you want to use every tool that's available to you, right? Does this Elliott count make sense? Right. I mean, it's good-looking impulse. Is that my 4, right? Is it going to happen that fast? You know, what 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 days compared to that, 2 months. It's not the craziest thing I've ever seen. Do you have nothing coming up in earnings? The last reaction to earnings right here was very favorable, but now we've started to sell, so we've already given back over 60% of it, right? Because we saw it broke the golden zone. So you've given over 65% of the earnings pop is already been given back. So are we going down lower to set up a better buy? So where's the next trade? If you ask me, it's right there. This is just too, could be, maybe. Well, I don't want to put money on, probably, maybe, could be. It's not good. For me, that's not good enough, right? Now, if you're particularly bullish here, I mean, you could make a case that you're, you know, at the spot where dominant here within this swing structure, there's a trade there, right? It's not one I would take. I'm not sure what I've got here. I need something to guide me a little more. Is this going to go ABC? Right? Are we going to live with the 1, 2, 3, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? But that looks like, is that 1, 2 not far enough for the 3? Well, let's just double check that. Yeah, I'm fairly certain we're not. Yeah, we didn't make 100%, right? So just right there, right? In terms of just tendencies of markets. Let me just clear this up a little bit. All right, do you see that we don't make 100% here? Right, in terms of short-term stuff, we're constantly scouring the market for this in our day trading room. If we don't make the 100, right, it's close, doesn't make it, right? Doesn't make the 100, right? Sells off, right? That's very often that's a significant tell, right? We don't make the 100 of the APP of the last swing, right? Weakness, can't make the 100. Down it comes. So I would see this. I would want to see this finish because then I'd have confidence in where I am in the count. Okay, there. I just got my 5, right? So I've got a flat. So I've got a flat, right? A 335. Now I'm a buyer. Now I'm comfortable. I'm cozy. I know right. I've got confluence down here. I'm buying it on sale. Right? I got a clear risk reward here. I can buy it here. Stops under that, right? Because I certainly want to put my stop on the other side of that 1, right? The count's going to change if that invalidates. Right, look here, I got a nice little low volume nugget just below, but right at the market, right at the golden zone, I got a little high volume pop right there, right? Nice. Little low volume on the other side of it. Why? Why is there low volume there? Because of that, right? No market acceptance there, right? Low volume node, right at the 65, which is right where your stop would be. So, yeah, right. So I understand this may never get there. Right, but is it worth waiting for that? Right, and I'm just using that I'm not even to my target yet. Now, is that worth waiting for? What do we got there? 17 to 1. Now, you might fudge it a little bit here. Maybe we're not making it there. We give it a little more room, right? If we get close to that 100, maybe you want to look at the 100. Let's fatten it up a little bit and say, all right, okay, let's not be so precise about it. There we go. Right, so this would be a reasonable target here. Got it. Okay, so it's not quite as good. There's 8.5 to 1. A little fatter on the wrist down here. Right, we widen that out a little bit. Here's the target. Right, so that could be easily the 5. Right, so all this is looking to get up there. 8.16 to 1. Worth waiting for? Rhetorical question. Obviously, that's worth waiting for. But is it going to get there? Well, shit, we don't know. But that's a trade, right? So now you do that analysis. Okay, so I can do this analysis here. Look at this. I'd want an alert at the 50. All right, if we come down, we tag the 50. I want to know about it, right? Another high volume right here, right? That's the last time we pivoted. Maybe we have a double bottom. Oh, shit, I don't know what this looks like. But so I want to be alerted when I get to the 50. And then I want to see what do I have here, right? Do I have a running flat? Is there 5 in there? If not, right? If I don't like what I see there, then I want to pay attention to the 100. A, B, C. Do we make the 100? Now, note here, right? If we fail to make the 100, do you follow me here? This would be bullish. So let's get this out of here. So in the same way that this failing to make the 100 here. So sorry, guys. Excuse me. So failing to make the 100 here. If I do the same thing here, right? If I fail to make the 100 here, that's bullish. Right? It's a little bit of a tell that I've got a reason. Oh, so maybe we're not going to make the 100 here. So if that comes down, if we come down here and we do something like this and I don't make the 100, that's reason why you might be looking to start your buying there. Now it could do that, right? Obviously, right? I'm not saying buy it there. I'm saying that's the kind of thing to look for. If it rolls over again, okay, well, so maybe you're laddering into this. Right? Don't bet the ranch on the first entry, right? There's always room to add. You want to save a little. You want to save a little to add. But that's how you construct a plan around a stock that's moving. All right. Tell me at the 50. I want to look at it at the 100. If we break the 100, well, I definitely want to look at the golden zone, considering how many golden zones it's been responsive to. All right, guys, I think you get my point. All right, not to labor on, but there's one absolutely for the watch list. All right, guys, talk to you later.